Hello and welcome to Galaxy TV's Primetime News. My name is Iribami Salako. We begin with headlines. Federal Government of Nigeria says it will continue to recognize cooperative society's crucial role in driving economic growth. Plus on the news, Justice Ramanu Shude dismisses Godwin Emefiele's application that he should recuse himself from the ongoing trial. From the international scene, at least 18 people are killed and 23 injured in eastern Thailand after a tour bus rolled upside down into a ditch. Details of this and more coming your way soon. Do stay with us. Many thanks for joining us this time. Now details of the news. The federal government of Nigeria says it will continue to recognize the cooperative society's crucial role in driving economic growth, social development and community empowerment in the country. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, stated this during the flag-off ceremony of the National Intensive Training for Trustees, Management Committees and Managers of Cooperative Societies in Nigeria, held in Kaduna. According to the minister, to meet the expectations of revitalizing the sector, federal government is committed to providing capacity building and development opportunities for cooperative society leaders and managers in the 36 states of the federation, including the FCT. The minister explained that the aim was to bring innovation by renovating first, revitalizing the sector to restore confidence in the masses and bringing back the glory of the cooperative movement as a force to reckon with in socio-economic development in Nigeria.
Because the amount of money in this sector is huge, but if you don't pay attention to it, the wrong people will always go to our people and swing them. I'm sure you are aware of some kind of story. Mr. President is saying no more. Nigerians must be free from scammers, scavengers, thieves, and all those who try to steal from our people in the name of whatever. But most importantly, as I'm talking, in the name of cooperatives. We want the cooperative society to do what they know how to do best. Mobilize capital, mobilize resources, and generate livelihood for their members. Is that what
the opportunities? Because by the time members of court came around, they come, you discover that they are going to learn some training, some skills, some knowledge, which when they go back, they are going to share. Because there is a plan now, we are going to go to other areas, as what the minister just said. We'll be going to Ojiriba, which is in Enugu State. We'll be going to Ibadan, so that this kind of training will now be shared, so that people will now start seeing the beauty of what we are saying. Because the opportunity is there. We have over 230 population in Nigeria. Assuming you have just 1 million people to decide to form a cooperative society, you can imagine they put 1 million naira. How much money is that? We are talking about 1 trillion naira. So the opportunity is there. So all we need to have that the right leadership who know the skills and knowledge on how to manage such cooperative society. And I'm telling you, we are there.
President Bola Tinubu has called for the setting up of reconciliation committees in various states to appease the grouped leaders of the party. The president also assured party members of his resolve to sustain the ongoing reforms by his administration, which were all yielding results. Speaking during a remark he made at the National Executive Council meeting held at the APC Secretariat in Abuja on Wednesday, the president acknowledged remarks of party faithful and how his administration has strengthened the security of the country, its sovereignty and food security. He also expressed gratitude to Nigerians for the electoral successes the party has achieved from one state to another as many people joined the APC. For his part, the APC National Chairman Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje said his administration inherited a whooping sum of 8.987 billion naira legal liabilities, which range from legal engagements during the pre-election matters, election cases, and abuse for legislative, governorship, and presidential elections.
Our sovereignty in food security, investment, and development. I am grateful to all Nigerians for the electoral successes. I've listened carefully to many of your remarks, and I'm going to put additional effort, working harder. It is very, very sunny out there. The Nigerian economy is seeing the sky of the day.
Stakeholders at the just concluded public hearing on the proposed tax bill have taken different positions on some of the propositions in the bill before the National Assembly. Recall that the Senate Committee on Finance, chaired by Senator Sani Musa, had organized a meeting to seek inputs from Nigerians on the proposed law. Correspondent Kolojo reports that the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue, Dr. Zaka Dedeji, while speaking on the bill, said there is no plan to repeal the Free Trade Zone Act with the new law, adding that it has never been proposed, adding that all Nigerians should thoroughly go through the bills. On his part, the Controller General, Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, admitted that the new act provides for the creation of new business environment, while the National President of Academic Staff Union of Universities in Nigeria frowned at the provision of the bill, which seeks the scrapping of TED Fund and other agencies by 2030.
About free trade zone and what law is saying. Nobody is repealing Free Trade Zone Act. It is never proposed in the bill. And if you all listened to Senate President yesterday, he gave one caveat that people should read the bill before they comment. The essence of Free Trade Zone is to develop economic zone that is purely for exports. That is the essence. And why is it that we say there should not be tax? Most especially local tax, when you are in free trade zone, is because all what you produce, you are taking it outside the country to make you competitive.
The new act provides for the creation of a new business environment, the type that this Nigerian tax bill is trying to advocate. And we have already started seeing results just about 2 years, less than 2 years after the promulgation of the act. Customs emerged as the most improved agency in the ease of doing business in the PEBEC index ranking.
Organization of funding that research today in the Nigerian system is the TED Fund. But we have found out from this bill, without any consultation by the agency that did this bill, is now indicated that by 2030, TED Fund should cease to exist. And that the fund from that TED Fund are three very critical agencies for any country that wants to develop. TED Fund, NICENI, and NIDA, that have to do with the soul of this country, should be scrapped.
In all, the Chairman Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Sani Musa, lauded the stakeholders for contributions and restated the commitment of the National Assembly to come up with an acceptable tax law that will accommodate all interests.
Let me assure you that the National Assembly, remains committed to enacting reforms that will strengthen our economy, remains committed to enacting reforms that will strengthen our economy while ensuring that taxation is equitable and transparent. What we are doing today is not a law for one administration, it's a law for all administrations that will come in this country. We want to be paired among those advanced economies that today we see them differently in the way and manner either they collect and make the best and judicious use of all revenue they have collected. And we want to assure Nigerians that we will bring out the best of recommendations to the Senate and by extension the National Assembly.
And to other stories, the Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Professor Moji Adeyeye, has called on the National Assembly to expedite on the review of NAFDAC Act. The call aims at threatening the act for effective performance of the agency. Professor Adeyeye, gave the charge while briefing State House correspondent at the presidential villa on Wednesday, asked that death penalty and life imprisonment be included in the law to serve as deterrent to illicit drug traders and trafficking in the country. The NAFDAC DG lamented deviance of traders who, after much counseling, still engage in the sale of expired and substandard drugs in the country, thereby causing avoidable death of millions of citizens.
Use this opportunity to call on the National Assembly to expedite the amendment of the NAFDAC Act N1-LFN 2004 and the Counterfeit and Fake Drugs and Unwholesome Processed Food C-34 Act to include life sentence and death penalty in the penalties for crimes committed under these acts. This exercise that we are doing is purely an enforcement operation to protect the public and rid our country of falsified and substandard medical products.
The NAFDAC boss also responded to questions bordering on the closure of medicine shops at the Ed region, Isha, Anambra State, Aba, Abia State, and Kano in Kano State. She accused the traders of stocking medicines in wrong, at and unapproved temperatures, adding that the agency will continue to do its best to reduce such illicit practices. Professor Adeyeye, however, said shops that are not indicted in illicit drug trading will be opened at the end of the exercise.
Current premises occupied by medicine dealers are unregistered and unregisterable. This falls short of the minimal standards for storage, sales, and distribution of drug products. The seized consignments of banned, expired, unregistered, substandard, falsified medical products will be destroyed simultaneously, publicly, in each of these locations after the exercise.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Works, has signed the engineering, procurement, construction and finance contract for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project with MESSRS Artec Construction Company Nigeria Limited. This contract allows the contractor, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Finance, to secure foreign investment for the project. He said the agreement is in accordance with the renewed Hope administration's roadmap to securing sustainable funding for the laudable and ambitious legacy project that will stimulate economic growth. During the signing ceremony, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, said the project had been the vision of President Bola Tinubu years ago and has now come to fruition under the new renewed Hope agenda. He assured that with the contractor's capabilities and the clear political will of Mr. President, the 750-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project will be completed by the grace of God before the end of the president's second term. Speaking on the importance of the agreement, he said the beauty of it was that the F component of EPC plus F is what is being fulfilled, saying by signing this EPC plus F contract, it is paving the way for the contractor through the Federal Ministry of Finance to bring in foreign investment into this project. Now to other stories. The former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, applied that the presiding judge, Justice Romano Shudi, should recuse himself from the ongoing trial as he appears in court on Wednesday, subsequent to his ongoing trial. Galaxy TV's Matthew Jabiken was there and now reports.
Following the allegation leveled against the Special Offences and Domestic Violence Court sitting in Ikeja, Lagos on Monday, February 24, 2025, by Olalekan Ojo, SAN, lead counsel to former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, on the ground of bias, as well as an application that the presiding judge, Justice Rahman Oshodi, should recuse from the ongoing trial of Emefiele. Emefiele is standing trial of a 19-count charge bordering on receiving gratification and corruption demand preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Oshodi said on Wednesday that the allegation has not been substantiated and lacks merit, citing various instances and precedents that can be considered as bias. He went further to define bias as an opening or feeling in favor of one side in disputes, and there is not enough evidence for which he should be recused from the case. However, the high point of the proceedings was when the judge proposed to adjourn the case to sometime in May because of other scheduled dates for court proceedings lined up for March and April. But the counsel to EFCC, Rotimi Oyedepo, appealed for a consideration that the adjournment be within a month. Ojo said that the issue of a month is not sacrosanct, saying he has no objection against May. Finally, the judge advised both parties to agree on a date in May, and it became a back-and-forth argument between Ojo and Oyedepo. Justice Oshodi had to prevail and adjourned to May 26 and 27. Matthew E. Jabike, Galaxy TV News, Lagos.
As the National Assembly set for the retreat of the proposed tax bills, the lawmakers have been advised to remove all the grey areas in the bill in the interest of fairness, growth and development of the country. Not only that, the government at the center has been advised to focus more on harnessing the potential that abound in the agricultural sector and the mineral deposit in the country. Addressing journalists in Abuja at the conclusion of the two-day stakeholders meeting on tax reform bills, Professor Mohammed Kilani of the Confederation of All Progressive Congress Support Group said the National Assembly should reconsider scrapping TED Fund and other agencies.
That document that we should focus more on mineral resources and agriculture. That's number one. Number two, the issue of saying in that document you want to staff TED Fund, is it Nesina or Nesama, and other agencies of by 2030 should be asked of the question. Those agencies, they need money to operate. Then on the issue of taking all the monies to Lagos, let me tell you, with the north here, we produce the grains.
Professor Kelani enjoined the state governors to think out of the box and tap from the abundant agricultural and natural mineral resources to complement what they get from the federal government. He further urged the governors to work within the context of credibility and productivity for sustainable development of their states. On local government autonomy, Professor Kelani posited that since the Supreme Court delivered a landmark judgment, nothing serious has been achieved, adding that it seems there are negative forces working behind the scene to rubbish the essence of the judgment.
We are speaking about the billions of 200 billion the governors have said before and will continue to say it. The overdependence on federal hangouts for sustainability by the state government in Nigeria cannot ensure development of the states at all.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Senate Committee on Local Content reaffirms its commitment to ensuring Nigerians benefit maximally from the country's natural resources. Details of that and more coming after the break. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page as Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. The Senate Committee on Local Content has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring Nigerians benefit maximally from the country's natural resources. This assurance came during the committee's inaugural meeting following the recent reshuffling of committee chairman by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The reshuffle led to the appointment of Senator Natasha Akpoti to the Committee on Diaspora Affairs, making way for Senator Ewumazino Thomas, representing Delta South as a new chairman of the Local Content Committee. Correspondent Kunle reports that in his inaugural address, Senator Joel Onowakwo emphasized the committee's mandate to promote the development and utilization of Nigeria content in key industries, including oil and gas, construction, power, railway, and ICT. He highlighted the importance of local content in job creation, capacity development, and economic growth, stressing the committee's collaboration with the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board (NCDMB) to ensure compliance with local content laws.
Are employed to work in industry that expatriates are leading. You end up finding less training given to Nigerians in those industries because there are secrets in the industry that they wouldn't want anybody to know. I think we would also need to open up and be sure that Nigerians, sufficient training is provided to Nigerians employed in manufacturing industries that are in the country. And lastly, sir, in those days, when expatriates establish an institute or a factory,
supporting this stance, Senator Dickett Clark, representing Plateau Central, noted that the committee's benefit would extend beyond oil and gas to include oversight and training in Nigeria's manufacturing sector.
We will work hard to create an enabling environment that fosters the growth of businesses, promote job creation, and develop critical assets and skills. And Nigeria Content Development and Monitoring Board plays a vital role in achieving these aims. The NCDMB was established by the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act 2010. NCDMB is involved for guiding, monitoring, coordinating, and implementing the provisions of the Act.
The Senate Other Committee on Ways and Means Advance has accused the Central Bank of Nigeria of frustrating its investigation into the 30 trillion naira Ways and Means Advance and the Anchor Borrowers Program under former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. The committee made the accusation after receiving an interim report from its consultant at a meeting where it expressed frustration over the bank's failure to provide crucial documents required for the probe. The committee, which was inaugurated a year ago by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, stated that the delay has significantly stalled the progress on the investigation. Chairman of the committee, Senator Isi Jibrin, criticized the Apex Bank for withholding vital information despite multiple requests revealing major infractions with the preliminary report of the CBN.
Interim report until they come up with the final report. But we've been compelled to make available this interim report to the Nigerian public, so that they know that, they let them know where the problem is. And the problem is that the Central Bank of Nigeria has denied us consistently the documents that we need to complete this assignment. That is the truth.
I was at the CBN sometimes, which other I wasn't supposed to do. I met the CBN governor. I met Bala, the deputy governor, and they promised, and nothing came out of it.
Although Amisu Abdullahi, the Director of Banking Services at the Central Bank of Nigeria, claimed that the Apex Bank had provided all the requested documents, Senator Issa Jibrin, the committee chairman, refuted the claim, insisting that the facts tell a different story.
That the Consolidated Revenue Funds, which is the CRF, which is where the Ways and Means is, we have provided supporting documents in the folder. We also have schedules so that what distinguished Senator Adamu Alero said does not affect this committee. We provided a schedule showing summary of ways and means taken, direct ways and means and indirect ways and means.
Now to other stories, First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, says the increasing rate of new HIV infection in the country is worrisome and calls for concerted effort, especially on the part of key players in the society. Senator Oluremi Tinubu stated this in Kaduna, where she flagged off the Free to Shine campaign in the northwest geopolitical zone of Nigeria. The campaign is an advocacy initiative of the African Union, the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, or AFLAD, and other global partners. The First Lady of Nigeria called for intensified effort to ensure that the global triple elimination target of HIV, AIDS, syphilis, and hepatitis is achieved by 2030. She pointed out that the growing complacency in response to the spread of these diseases in Africa is worrisome. The First Lady said in view of this, there is an urgent need to raise awareness, renew commitment, and take collective action against these diseases, which aligns with the shared vision of a healthier Nigeria, where every individual, particularly women, youth, and children, can thrive and live healthier lives. She commended all health workers and various agencies involved in combating the three diseases, especially HIV/AIDS. Oyo State government has restated its readiness to shut down all unregistered hospitality and hotel businesses in the state, citing security challenges and revenue drive. Commissioner for Culture and Tourism made this known at a news conference held on Wednesday at the State Secretariat. Our correspondent Shegun Falomo tells us more in this report.
Oyo State government has announced plans to clamp down on illegal and unregistered hotels, tour and travel agencies, and other hospitality establishments in the state. This disclosure was made by the State Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dr. Wasiu Olatubosun, at a press conference held at the State Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. The Commissioner explained that the step, which is in collaboration with all security agencies and registered hotel owners, is aimed at improving the state's internal revenue generation and curbing incessant crimes perpetrated at these establishments. Olatubosun, while acknowledging the influx of businesses into the state due to the high quality of standard of infrastructure and security, announced that the process will begin next week with awareness and sensitization across all geopolitical zones in the state, after which enforcement will follow immediately with serious penalties for offenders.
However, disheartening that in spite of enabling environment erected or put in place by the current administration for the hospitality sector to thrive, some of the operators in the sector failed to register their enterprise with the state government and consequently denied the government of internally generated revenue IGR and necessary data. And if this trend continues, definitely it will affect the state in terms of resources. Two, in fact, the security that we are saying that we put in place, it will make it difficult for security agencies to work optimally because they won't have enough information to work with.
Also speaking at the press conference, the chairman of Hoteliers Association of Oyo State, Otumba Ayodele Ogundele, called on hotel owners to cooperate with the state government in a bid to ensure safety of citizens and businesses in the states. While noting that the move will bring about proper dissemination of information, he urged hoteliers to continually train their staffs and uphold professionalism that ensures proper verification and accountability from all visitors to the establishments.
Was that we have fallen short in the area of registration. We have fallen short in the area of knowing who was behind what venture, and we have fallen short in the area of having the ability to track guests' movements for security. And also, the Oyo State government was losing revenue over the years because there were a lot of unregistered entities springing up. So to correct that is why the security forces approached the Hoteliers Association, and we said it was beyond our power to unilaterally register people. That is under the purview of the Oyo State government.
Shegun Falomo reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Wednesday received a report of the Committee on Management and Disbursement of the Bodija Explosion Relief Fund, assuring that the recommendations will be reviewed and implemented without delay. Makinde, who was represented by his deputy Bayo Lawal at the governor's office in Ibadan, described the explosion as a tragic and avoidable incident. Speaking at the event, Lawal, who chaired the committee, said the government swiftly responded to the disaster while deploring emergency and post-explosion support services. He added that efforts were made to investigate the root cause of the explosion while urging residents to remain security conscious. The deputy governor assured that the relief fund report would be promptly acted upon to provide much-needed support to victims. Presenting the report, retired Commissioner of Police Fatai Owusheni, who represented the committee chairman, said the report was compiled into 4 volumes. The report contains detailed recommendation on the disbursement and management of the relief fund based on expert assessment and deliberations with stakeholders, including the Bodija Estate Resident Association and the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Owusheni said. Also speaking, the president of the Bodija Estate Resident Association, Muyiwa Bangbushi, stated that the committee had proposed financial support for various categories of victims, including those who lost loved ones, property and valuables. Now to other stories. 4 female students of the Joseph Samuel Taka University Makode Judson, formerly University of Agriculture Makode, have been reportedly kidnapped by gunmen. The female students were abducted on the university campus while returning from class at about 8:30 to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, February 25, 2025. Their names were given simply as Emanuela, Oraka, Fola, Susan, and Ella. A student of the institution who spoke on condition of anonymity confirmed the incident. She said the students were going to read that night when they were kidnapped between their hostel and the reading point at North Core area of the school campus. The news of the kidnapping immediately sent fears among them, while the police public relations officer, PPRO Benue State Command, CSP Catherine Nanene, confirmed the incident, noting that only 2 students were kidnapped. The institution is yet to come up with official statement as at the time of this report. Still on security, Kayode Egbetokun, the Inspector General of Police, has ordered the deployment of intelligence response team to rescue Eniola Ojajuni, the abducted Afenifere youth leader. In a statement issued on Wednesday, Olumiyiwa Adejobi, the force spokesperson, cautioned against social media speculations and the spread of unverified information regarding the ongoing rescue operation. He warned that such actions could jeopardize efforts and endanger the Afenifere youth leader. The NPF is fully committed to the safe return of Prince Ojajuni and is deploying all necessary resources and expertise to achieve this objective, the statement read. Adejobi also highlighted recent police operations against organized crimes across the country. He said police operatives in Taraba State raided a criminal hideout at Wamunchi Dry Season Rice Farm on February 26. The spokesperson noted that the operation led to the arrest of 20 male suspects and the recovery of one AK-47 rifle, 7 rounds of live ammunition, 3 din guns, a bow and arrow, a motorcycle and other items. He added that the case has been transferred to the State Criminal Investigations Department (SCID) for further investigation. Adejobi noted that the police tactical teams working with local security outfits rescued 3 people abducted from a village in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, on February 24. One suspect was arrested. He reaffirmed the dedication of the police to tackling insecurity while commending the officers involved in the operations. You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. To stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, carrying on with the rest of the story, a coalition of civil society organizations operating under the aegis of Coalition for Good Governance and Transparency in Nigeria has issued a 48-hour ultimatum to the National Judicial Council (NJC) to conduct an investigation into the allegations against the embattled Chief Judge of Benue State, Justice Maurice Ikpambase. During the World Press Conference held on Wednesday in Abuja, the coalition led by Comrade Opanachi Jacob made accusations of partiality, political interference and impropriety against the justice. He cautioned that failure to take action would lead to widespread demonstrations aimed at restoring the dignity of the judiciary. This call to action follows a resolution passed by Benue State House of Assembly last week, which called for the removal of the Chief Judge based on a petition from Governor Hyacinth Alia.
Investigate and prosecute Justice Ikpambase for the wrongful act of compromise, sabotage and bias. We recommend that the Governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Yomen Alia, to immediately swear in the next judge in line with the acting Chief Judge of Benue State.
The coalition reiterated their 48-hour ultimatum to the National Judicial Council to investigate and address the Chief Judge's situation, warning that a failure to act could prompt widespread demonstration aimed at restoring integrity to the judiciary.
We call on the Attorney General of the Federation to immediately intervene and ensure that constitutional provision of the rights and privileges of the Benue State House of Assembly members, as well the constitutional powers of the executive governor, who has the powers to remove a chief judge in line with section 292 of the 1999 constitution as amended, should be exercised.
Now we move to the international desk for more news. This is news from the international scene. At least 18 people have been killed and 23 injured in eastern Thailand after a tour bus rolled upside down into a ditch, police said. It was a downhill road and the brakes failed, and the driver lost control of the vehicle before it overturned, said Colonel Sofom from Manihi, adding that those who died on Wednesday were adults on a study trip. There were 49 people on the bus, all Thai, including the driver, the police official told newsmen. Local officials said about 20 injured passengers were taken to hospital, warning that some remained in critical condition. Prime Minister Pintuntang Shinawatra expressed her condolences to the victims' family and said an investigation was ongoing. Road accidents and deaths are common in Thailand due to weak enforcement of vehicle safety standards and poorly maintained roads. The Southeast Asian nation ranked 9 out of 175 World Health Organization member countries for road traffic death, according to its 2023 report. Last year, a school bus caught fire due to gasoline leak, killing 23 people, including 16 students in the country's deadliest road accident in a decade. The death toll from a Sudanese military plane crash in the city of Omdurman on the outskirts of the capital Khartoum has increased to at least 46 people, officials said. The Antonov aircraft crashed late on Tuesday during takeoff from the Wadi Saidnad military airport in northern Omdurman, part of Greater Khartoum. The Khartoum media office on Wednesday said the crash also injured 10 others. The initial death toll of 19 was provided by the Health Ministry, which said the aircraft crashed over a civilian house in the Kadari district in Omdurman. Major General Baha Ahmed, a senior commander in Khartoum, was reportedly among the dead. The Sudanese military, which has been at war with the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) since April 2023, released a statement confirming that military personnel and civilians had been killed and reporting that firefighting teams had managed to contain the blaze at the crash site. Residents in northern Omdurman reported a loud explosion from the crash, which damaged several homes and caused power outage in surrounding neighborhoods. Rwanda said international sanctions will reduce the likelihood of peace with M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo after the United Kingdom said it would pause some bilateral aid and impose other diplomatic sanctions on Kigali. The punitive measures announced today by the UK government in response to the conflict in eastern DRC, where the UK has not clearly chosen a side, are regrettable, Rwanda's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a statement. The measures do nothing to help the Democratic Republic of Congo, nor do they contribute to achieving a sustainable political solution to the conflict in the eastern DRC. The UK said measures in Kigali would remain in force until there was significant progress in ending hostilities and the withdrawal of all Rwandan soldiers from Congolese territory, estimated by the United Nations to number several thousands. Rwanda denies providing arms and troops to M23 and says its forces are acting in self-defense against the Congolese army and the group hostile to Kigali. Still on the international scene, the Palestine government has demanded the release of 620 hostages in exchange of 6 Israeli hostages, which was declined. Following the decline, which could have occurred last Friday, the Palestine government has agreed to a new exchange. The deadline came due to huge treatment of Israeli hostages by Hamas and is taking preventive measures to see that people wouldn't experience any humiliating release ceremony. During the first phase of ceasefire and hostage release on Saturday, Hamas released 6 Israeli hostages from Gaza. There was a private transfer and 2 public transfer ceremonies. For the second phase of hostage release, Hamas said it wouldn't be possible due to the delay. Hamas accused Israel of violating the truce with the delay, casting some uncertainties over the precarious ceasefire deal, and said talks on the second phase would not be possible until they are freed. Hamas confirmed that an agreement with Israel had been made through Egyptian mediators, but did not specify how many Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners and detainees would be released. An Egyptian official confirmed the agreement between Israel and Hamas was reached, according to a statement by the Egyptian government's media office. Chile's president has declared a state of emergency after an electricity blackout plunged most of the country into darkness on Tuesday, including the capital, Santiago. The outage in the middle of Chile's summer, when temperatures in Santiago are around 30 degrees Celsius, has affected some 8 million homes, President Gabriel Boric said in an address to the nation on Tuesday evening. The National Disaster Prevention and Response Service said 14 of the country's 16 regions were impacted by the blackout, which began Tuesday afternoon. Internet and mobile phone services were down across much of the nation, and parts of Santiago's transport network was suspended, stranding commuters as officials scrambled to restore power. The National Electrical Coordinator, Chile's grid operator, said a high-voltage backbone transmission line that carries power from the Atacama Desert in northern Chile to Santiago in the country's Central Valley had been disrupted, leading to the blackout. It did not say what caused the disruption, but said it is investigating. Lastly, on the international scene, President Volodymyr Zelensky is expected to travel to Washington, D.C. in the coming days after the United States and Ukraine agreed to terms on the deal over natural resources and reconstruction, according to a Ukrainian official. Negotiations have been ongoing for days over a deal that could grant the U.S. access to Ukraine's rare earth mineral as part of wider negotiation to end Russia's invasion, as well as U.S. involvement in a construction fund for Ukraine. The Ukrainian officials said the terms were agreed after everything unacceptable was taken out of the text, and it is now more clearly spelled out how this agreement will contribute to Ukraine's security and peace. Details of the agreement are not yet known, but a major sticking point had been demand from the Trump administration to a $500 million share of Ukraine's rare earth and other minerals in exchange for the aid that the U.S. had already provided Kyiv, which was previously rejected by Zelensky. The U.S. has not confirmed whether the terms of a deal had been agreed. Asked what Ukraine would receive in the mineral deal, Trump said $350 billion and lots of equipment, military equipment, and the right to fight on. And that's it from the international scene. Coming your way next, entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News on Galaxy TV. My name is Gratitude Imokwede. Here are the rest of the stories for today.
Live from the heart of Lagos, Nigeria, where people from across the globe are gathered for the 8th International Conference on Love and Tolerance. I am Susan Ono for Galaxy TV. And right here at Brighton College, discussions are underway empowering young people to embrace a culture of peace and understanding. This conference brings together thought leaders, activists, young change makers to address one crucial question: how can we cultivate a new generation of peace builders? Stay tuned.
The 8th International Conference on Love and Tolerance took place at Brighton College, Ikeja. The event aimed to promote peace and understanding among different religions and ethnic groups. Guests included Dr. Atolabi Tajuddin, Special Advisor to the Governor, and Professor George Anselm. Professor Anselm emphasized the need to break religious barriers by changing our ideologies. The Chief Imam of Lagos, Shakil Sulaiman Abdullah, stressed the importance of respecting all religions. The president of UFOC Dialogue, Mr. Amral, highlighted the need for promoting peace and dialogue.
And Nigeria is the biggest country about the mutual ethnic state country. More than 250 ethnic groups are living together. So we are the example of the all over the world, because if we can promote the peace in Nigeria, all over the world can we bring peace. Because as you see, Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Muslim and Christian brothers. That's why UFOC Dialogue is invited, because Nigeria, if we want to develop our country, we need peace. If there is no peace, there is no development. So that's why Nigeria is the very important all over the world, and also we are the very important people in this society. Thank you very much. May Allah bless Nigeria. May God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
The conference focuses on finding common ground among different religions. Youth were urged to show love and tolerance regardless of their religion or ethnicity. They were also advised to avoid hard substances. The conference aimed to promote peaceful coexistence and understanding. Religious tolerance and respect were emphasized as key to achieving peace. The event was a call to action for promoting love, tolerance, and understanding.
So 8th International Conference Love and Tolerance, actually it started by idea from the before 8 years ago when Ufuk Diyalog is established in 2011 in Abuja. We are promoting peace, mutual understanding and coexisting in the society. So Ufuk Diyalog has been organizing many activities, especially about the interfaith and intercultural dialogue society. And also Ufuk Diyalog is the role of the peace in the society in Nigeria, because 250 ethnic groups are living in Nigeria, and also Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani and Muslim and Christian people living together. So we have to give the message of the grassroots, how we can love each other, how we can tolerate each other, because it is the very important key nowadays in Nigeria.
All right, that's all we have on entertainment news. Thank you so much for watching, and keep watching entertainment news on Galaxy TV. My name is Gratitude Mokwede. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
And that is all we have for you. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Iriba Mr. Lako. Goodbye.